go get one. But I've never.
I think I had, maybe not. I don't know.
I know
it's not something I'm like, I gotta do it. Like, I just don't,
Well, boo to the flu. I'm over you.
The flute.
How about that?
Because I'm like, we'll know at the end, in retrospect, somebody said it was like warfare.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Outbreak.
Biological warfare. I was like, outbreak. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Let's not claim that.
Let's not go there.
So, I have a bit of where we'll win before we... No, I got... Oh, gosh.
What are you going to do, lady?
Okay, let's talk about... Let's do the elephant in the room.
Which is?
I have a boy who I taught last year, and that's normal because I moved up with my students. So yeah. I taught the freshman level. Now I'm teaching the 10th grade level science. Mm-hmm. And he is mine. He's one of mine, but last semester he took this same course and failed it with another teacher. So he luckily, someone's looking out for him, got back-to-back science, because normally he would have to wait till senior year to try to make up for his biology. So this is 1 year, his second chance to do better with me. So I have a certain, amount of, I care about him, and his brother is Pop, who I used to talk about. His younger brother.
Okay.
So,
I remember them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he has difficulties, and we all know it, and he didn't pass because we know exactly why he didn't. He didn't show for his EOC, the second one. So it was just kind of like, why didn't you do this? He's trying to play basketball, and it's just a bunch going on with him. I'm just minding my business. He sits with a busy little group of boys who are hype. Okay. He looks up to me, and I'm standing next to him. He said, my teacher last period told me I'm incapable of learning.
What?
I want to cry thinking about it.
I'm shaking.
And this is at a table full of young Black boys.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm setting up a lab. Like, this is Friday. I'm setting up a lab, and I had to brush it off real quick. I had to be like, that ain't true. Like, I don't know what she's talking about. And then just walked on. Girl, when I brought it up in our PLC, and all of us are invested because most of us have taught him, it was like, who, what, like, and I didn't even think about to look up who it was or anything like that. I was just like, I had to like immediately go into
change the subject because
don't even internal. Like, if I would have went off, he would have thought that was true, or like it would have been. I was like, whatever. And the topic was teachers who lose teachers who go off. Mm-hmm. And so he asked me. This is how the beginning of the conversation was like, when are you ever gonna lose it? And I was like, I don't do that. And I was like, who does that? And he was like, teachers do it all the time, especially if they're pregnant. Like, he was just dropping hints. And then he went to that. And this boy is not very articulate. So to say you're incapable of learning, like, those words, that wouldn't be words that he would say. He would say, she says I'm dumb. She says I'm stupid, something like that. But incapable of learning, like. So the teacher who he failed last semester, she's in my PLC too, was like, she jumped out of her chair in our PLC and was like, who is it? Like, she was hot. Like,
did y'all go find her?
I know who it is. We know who it is. Okay. In our PLC, there's the science county coach, because remember our school.
Yeah.
She's in every meeting. The initial substitute coach, who is the social studies coach, who just comes over there to act like he cares about science, was in there. And then our whole PLC, including special ed, and me and the special ed teacher taught this boy last year. Like, everyone was invested, and we were all like, so of course at that time I was like, well, let me look on his schedule to see who he had before me. We figured out who it was. But the question is, what is it that needs to be done? So I ask you, what do you think?
To the teacher?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we got him. Like, it's not gonna, like, we definitely can cover him, build him, support him in the way that he needs to be, like, loved on.
I just have a whole lot of, it's too many steps.
From a teacher's point of view.
It's too many steps because in my opinion, my humble opinion, if you feel like a child is incapable of learning, I feel like you're incapable of teaching. Mm-hmm. Point blank, period. So what is it about you that's unable to connect, to reach, to figure out, to hone your craft in order to reach and make this lesson, this instruction accessible to this child? Because this becomes a you problem.
And that was one that came up, was like, that's an observation, but what's the action? Exactly.
So I feel like, I don't know what because I'm going in and out of peer-to-peer or assistant principal to address this teacher, because
and this is someone not in our department. So if it was in our department, I definitely would.
Clearly she's toxic because she definitely projects that with her students. Mm-hmm. He's not the first one. He's not going to be the last.
And she probably said it to the whole class.
In front of everybody. Well, she's probably said it to the
whole class. You guys
are
incapable of learning anything I teach. Like, I could just...
Yeah. I can hear that, thinking that that's going to motivate children, and it's not.
I have a sick feeling every time I think about it. Like, I just want to fight. I want to yell. I want to march over and just ask her about it.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't care if they are in a different department, you receive the information. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, like what I always try to teach all of the students at different grade levels, I'm like, here's the thing, you need to let an adult fight your battle for you. Because so many times our kids try to fight their own battles and then they end up putting a target on their backs where teachers let their egos get in the way instead of humbly receiving the feedback from a child.
Right.
You know, and
I don't even think that he addressed it. You know what I mean? Like, and because I would have heard, the kids would have, camera went off on her or something like that.
No, I commend him for not addressing it, because it really needs to be addressed from an adult. Yeah. Because you already don't like the child for you to say some words like that.
That's and his hurtful. Mama is half crazy. So I almost want to be like, tell your mom. Just tell your mom. See what she has to say about that.
But then, will she be able to communicate effectively for it to really bring about a change? It might hurt her feelings. It might scare her. It might, if she came to. So then it's going to project a whole different type of attitude, behavior towards children like him. Because now I think all parents, I want to think that all parents are like that as well. So it just further projects what her beliefs about his situation is.
So,
but that's the same thing at my school. Like, it just depends. I mean, girl, sometimes it is racially based and racially driven, but a lot of times I feel like sometimes educators just want to be in a position where they feel like they're better than an individual. I don't care if that's a black kid, a white kid, rich, poor. Like, they're going to pull out something about a kid to make themselves feel superior. And again, it just boils back to ego.
Right.
I mean, all of that goes back to ego.
Oh my God. So that's definitely one of those that involves a wall in the classroom situations. Like, how did it all go down? What could have happened? What should have happened? You know, all of that. And so it was just
so now kids in the classroom have to have this guard up where they're afraid to ask for help, because now if you do go act like you don't know something, you might be thought of as incapable of learning it.
It is like, that was my elephant in my bomb. Drop that bomb on y'all, that there actually are teachers who will fix their mouths.
There definitely are. Not even actually. Like, unfortunately,
one step is to feel that inside.
Yeah.
Okay. But you fix your lips to say that to someone else's child?
Yeah.
Like, who already struggles, probably does have some issues that are undiagnosed, and you can sleep at night. Like, I don't like it, and I don't think that it should exist. But like you said, there's so many different things that go into play with that.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to lose her job for me telling on her.
No, but somebody needs to call. What do you do? What is the number one thing they say about bullies? The way that you get a bully to stop is by calling them out. That's one of the first strategies, the top strategies to get a bully to quit. Right. So if you feel like bullying, downgrading, whatever, someone is what motivates them or make them shut up, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and so they were all like, oh, she's mean because she's pregnant. And stuff like that. So I'm like,
my kids said I was mean when I was pregnant too, but I did not say anything like that.
No way.
So
I could be mean, like, you guys be quiet.
And then the thing is, what's sad is these kids have either spent so much of their lives making excuses for adults who do them wrong that they've even made an excuse for her, knowing good and well it was wrong.
And then how much of that is internalized? You know, I'm just coming off of failing a class.
It is. It's absolutely internalized.
I'm struggling already. Probably been struggling my whole life. My brother is pretty smart. You know, it's just like a lot of, I don't have my dad. Like, that's his thing. He talks, it's an ongoing joke about, where's my dad? Oh, yeah, nowhere. Like,
he'll say that loud.
Oh, yeah, all the time. So it's like, everybody kind of, his redeeming qualities are that he's very transparent in everything. And he doesn't like for me to see him in a bad way. He doesn't like for me to see other people in a good way, though.
What?
He'll be like walking by me and telling me bad stuff about his friends. Like, so-and-so was fighting last night. You still think he's good? I'm like, I don't care. He can still be good. Like, quit trying to, I was like, you trying to ruin my viewpoint on people? He's like, yeah, because you think they're great. And I'm like, it's fine. You can be great.
But you know what? Sometimes kids don't know how to, receive positive anything.
Yeah.
So the fact that he doesn't want you to give others that, but he wants it to come from you to him.
Yeah.
Kind of just reflects what he's used to. And I also experienced something like that and it wasn't even that I was being nice to kids around this little boy, but it's so sad because this is a little kid, and you know how I am. You can only imagine how I am with those babies.
The little ones, yeah.
I'm like so enthusiastic, so positive, so upbeat, and it's super early in the morning during breakfast time. Oh yeah, I forgot you would probably push me down or something. So I was like, all right, baby, get your stuff up. Let's get ready to go. He was like, do you always talk like that?
Oh, he's my kind.
I said, would you rather for me to be like,
get your stuff up right now?
He was like, yeah, like that. He's like kindergartner. I said, listen. I said, what I'm not about to do is get my blood pressure up for you. I said, I'm going to stay positive because that makes my heart feel better. I said, what you know about high blood pressure? He said, I know my grandmama got it. And I said, so does she fuss a lot? I said, and that's why I'm not going to be fussing with at y'all about eating and going upstairs.
And that's what my answer to him saying, when you going to lose it? I said, lose what? I'm not here for that. I'm not here to go off on y'all. Like,
right.
Who wants to do that?
So they've experienced that in
every
their
other teacher does it.
Well, in their environments, and they experience that with their educators. And that's why I try to teach the women and men in my building, in my school
house,
that that is not effective. Like yelling and going off and being rude, and because a lot of them, that's really all they get. Because my parents are in survival mode so much.
It's what they're used to, and that makes them comfortable. Like why?
So you yelling at them? You're yelling at them. That's gonna make them even more okay with what they're doing.
Yeah, they're like, yes. Now we're at home. She keeps smiling and being nice. Uh-oh. Now what's next?
Right.
If not anything, I'll give them the crazy laugh.
What's the crazy laugh?
The one where they don't know exactly if I'm happy or upset, but it's just
demonstrate. That one.
Yep.
Ooh.
But it's when they're being really disrespectful. It's like not on It's not during the right time. So they're caught off guard like, uh-oh. Is it?
Yeah, that's why we over here about to do this.